Hey Wargamers, welcome back. Purple Druid presents Wargame Culture. Whew, it has been a while. March was, let us say, challenging. And now we're nearly halfway through April, but I think I've got things sorted out. This is our fantastic miniature wargame campaign notebook, and I have been working diligently on some things the last couple weeks. First off, I do want to say that I did participate in the Postcard Jam, postcards from the front, and I wanted to make a 3D version for the Substack subscribers if they wanted to check it out. So this is kind of a fun little thing. I have a little 4x6 card here, and we got some little hills, and we got some little trees that we can put down. But the problem is I was using these mounted Risk figures to use for the scouts, and unfortunately they're too big kind of to fit on the tree hexes. So we have adjusted mid-course, and we're going to use these little Lord of the Rings Risk figures, and these do, goodness gracious, these do fit on here. Well, a little better. You know, this tree is just too darn low. Let's get a better tree. So I'll have to make some more trees. I'm gonna have to just use the tall ones, I guess, because or maybe this isn't a good idea. I don't know. I'll play with it a little more. It looks cooler, I think, than it actually is in practice, but we'll see. I still think it's a cool idea. And maybe I just need to make taller trees or something. Or maybe I'll make the trees flat. I don't know. Anyway, still, this is a work in progress, but it's kind of fun. Next up, regarding fantastic miniature war games campaigns, we do have the Imaginations campaign that we are still working on miniatures for which we are still working on miniatures. I'm not sure how to say that. Isn't that terrible? In any case, one of the things that we have are the 3 different forces. And so these troops that you see here as work in progress, these are actually Warlord Games Napoleonic Battle of Waterloo troops. And so these will be categorized as the Union of Machion. They're aristocrat troops. So there's really 2 levels of troops. I made a little picture here. Thanks to Henry Hyde for the inspiration. So we have our aristocrat troops, we have our basic troops, which is the standard Union troops. I just downloaded these pictures from the interwebs and made up this little coloring page. So I've got one for the Union, I've got one for the Empire of Serenagor, and then there will also be a third one for the Confederacy, Confederate troops. So, but as you can see here, I've got the first pass of blue and black and brown. I did run some wash on the blue so that they have a little bit of shading. So we can get in here, right? And if you can see there, the riflemen at the top up here, I went ahead and did their hats, so they've got a little feathery feather on top of their hats, which is kind of fun. And you know, classic brown for the rifles. I always have so much trouble with the brown. I don't know, it doesn't want to cover. It's not I don't know what's up with that. What else are we working on? Oh, coming up in just about a week now, we have Mayhem Con that I'll be attending as a principal and as a gamer, and I will actually be debuting the first public playtest of Fantasy Grid. So I made a couple of boards. So we've got 2 game boards, so we can have 2 games going on simultaneously. Also, I have 2 of the magic boards, so we'll be able to track magic while magic is happening, which is pretty exciting. I will be making all new cards for this so that they are uniform and clean looking. The ones I've been using for playtesting are pretty muddy and smeary because it took me a while to figure out what kind of pen would actually write on the shiny surface of those cards. So that is where we are with Fantasy Grid. Literally, we are just a couple more steps away from a working prototype that I can send out rules for, and the Substack subscribers can start to play. Another thing we're working on in terms of research for Hex Trail, we're looking at Castle Risk and some of the rules and mechanics of Castle Risk and how you play that. So I did track down, I think I showed this in a video before, I got the cards for Castle Risk from eBay, and then I went ahead and got another canvas board and I painted up my own world, or my own version of Europe, or whatever. We can flip it around and put it however we want when we label it. I just need to label these countries, label the territories within them. You know, you got your neutrals here in brown, so we'll have red, yellow, blue, and green, which are the classic colors. I have some more of the Risk figures here, and then some different other playing pieces to use for various other items that are in the game. So we got that going. And unfortunately, I did run down a big old rabbit hole with this, and so that has delayed us a little bit. And finally, the last thing I do want to go over is a reminder that the Sea Battle series is not done. I did finally receive the last rule book that I was looking for in order to run some of these games. But I wanted to remind folks that we do have on the itch page, which I'll put a link below, a download where you can download counters, ships cards, ship counters, marines, stepped mast, catapults, the whole works. Free to download and experiment with the various rules that we'll be using and playing with in order to find out what will work best to integrate into the fantastic miniature Wargames campaign rules. So that's where we are for a mid-April update. I know this is short and sweet, so I do appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Do hit like and subscribe, and be sure and share this video with your gaming friends. And I look forward to seeing some really cool stuff on the Substack coming up this month, especially after I get some of the feedback from the Fantasy Grid open play test. So thanks again, have a great day, and keep on gaming.